218.
Ooh.
We're legal.
We're legal now in the 200s.
We've been legal. Chat, why'd you blow up that shit in Youngstown? What the fuck?
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw you robbed a bank.
Yeah, I don't, watched Ocean's 11 last night, and I got super hyped up, and
Did you really watch it last night?
I was digging a tunnel, and
That'd be crazy if you actually did watch a bank heist movie where they blow something up last night.
no, did watch a couple episodes of The Sopranos though. Close enough.
They don't do anything cool like blow up a bank in that.
Gabagoo.
It's just a bunch of guys in restaurants yelling at each other.
guy that's never watched The Sopranos or heard the word said, gabagoo.
Gabagool. Gabagoole.
That'd be me reading out a Twitch notification. Gabagool? Thank you.
Gabagool Sopranos. Thank you for the sub.
I'm banning that account right now.
Based Sopranos memes.
I watched the Batman movie from 2 years ago on the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
You guys seen that?
The one with the
With
Edward?
Robert Pattinson?
Yeah.
Ew, no, he's gay from Twilight.
Yeah, I don't like the gay, sparkly vampires.
Edward Cullen is not my Batman. That's Joe Biden's Batman. No, fuck that.
It was fine, but too long.
No, I heard everyone liked that one.
But the thing I wanted to highlight from this movie from like 2 years ago is the first guy that Batman fights. Well, I guess guys is these like people doing the knockout game on a subway. This like guy comes off the subway and these guys have like painted faces or whatever, and the one guy's face is only half painted, which I guess means he isn't fully in the gang. And then a guy like walks off the train and they all follow him and they're gonna like knockout game him and they're like holding him down and they're saying to the kid, "All right, hit him, fucking hit him." And then Batman comes and
that's not even how you do the knockout game. That's why
that's cheating at the knockout game.
He stopped.
Yeah.
It has to be one punch right to the back of the head. They're not expecting it. They have no idea what's coming, and then they're just on the ground. And then you get to be in the game.
I think it just has to not be in their line of sight. You could just clock them in the side, though, like in the temple or under the jaw. Under the jaw would be the nicest way to do it, because then you don't give them brain damage, but you still knock them out.
It's sort of like hunting, modern day hunting.
Yeah.
You have to stalk your prey. And
you want to catch them in the right spot so that you don't spoil the meat with your round.
Yeah, probably tiptoeing.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's the worst part of hunting, the tiptoeing. Actually, I mean,
oh, you know what we should do? We should make a guy blind on the subway, so that way we have
by
access
jacking
to
him
guys.
off.
No, someone in Hong Kong was doing that, and they got in trouble. They're making guys blind. They're throwing acid on them.
Oh shit!
Get it?
Well, at least it's not to women. It's guys' turn to have acid attacks.
Doing it in like a fake mailbox, like it's one of those Fortnite things where it turns you into an item. They used to have the sort of the fake. That's like a trigger happy TV thing. It's the costume that looks just like the mailbox. People come put a letter in it, and then the guy pops up and like scares them.
There was the guy doing that in the bush. I know there was 2 different videos we saw.
Yeah, it scared Kitra and she broke her ankle.
It scared Kitra, yeah.
Fell out of her bathing suit.
It was probably Peter and Kitra, and then also Mr. Morrow or Derek, if I had to guess. I think it was
someone from the Disnard universe.
But there is a guy that's just the Fortnite bush item in real life. And that's kind of cool.
He's good at it. That kind of reminds me, because it's sort of like that's like an old YouTube prank thing too, is the dressing up as a bush, like on a college campus and scaring people. Like it's very Roman Atwood. But it reminded me of the hole I've been going down, which is really funny. There's this gas station. It's not the Detroit gas station one that used to have the Vine channel and the big YouTube channel. This one's in Chicago, but it has all of these like calling customers sus things gone wrong in the hood. And there's one that's like it's a compilation of customers mad that I gave them a pink lighter compilation. And there's so many dudes where they get like, don't give me this gay shit. You know I'm not like that. What the fuck do I look like to you? And they whip it back into like the little hole thing. It's really funny. Very funny.
If when I was working at gas stations, I knew that would piss people off, I absolutely would have done it.
Yeah,
it was a really good idea.
I said that
you got to get rid of them.
I was saying that earlier when I linked it in a Discord and said it, and I said, you know, this happened so many times, and he was like, you know what, I'm gonna make a video out of this because now I'm just gonna start doing it on purpose. And he does this thing where he goes, "Sorry, man, it's all the only colors I got." And there's all you can see all the other ones like behind the glass sitting there. And he goes, "Nah, those are for sale." And they get so mad. The one guy gets mad. He's wearing a fucking pink do-rag. Like, it's literally the same hot pink as the lighter. And the guy goes, what are you talking about? Your whole do-rag's pink. And he's like, yeah, man, that's temporary, though. That's after my shower or something. He's like,
so is the lighter. It doesn't last forever.
Yeah, it's not like it's a Zippo.
The guys always drop it, though. Like, it's the gayest. Like, they put a penis in their hand. It's so weird. I've never thought about... I know there's like a lighter color thing. Like, white is the bad luck one. That's always been like the cursed one.
Didn't know that.
Yeah, I don't know where that came from. If there's even an origin.
I've heard that.
All the way back to the 90s, I'd remember like at parties, my aunts and uncles and parents being like, "Oh, white lighter, nice. Like, great. Get that out of here."
Brown lighter's anal, and black lighter, you have to have sex with them if they break it.
Yeah, they're like the sex bracelets.
The yellow lighter, that means you like to get peed on.
Yeah.
No, I met my wife playing that game.
Yeah, I got a black lighter and a blue lighter in my back pocket. It means I love anal and I'm a virgin.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Hey, Catholics think that's possible.
Yeah, so you're Catholic.
They do. They absolutely do. Shout out to, well, I'm not going to name them, but those two people I know that still maintain that they were virgins until marriage because they only had anal for like literally 8 years. All right.
That's what's up.
God doesn't know.
That's such a weird thing to
he
know about
likes
your
that.
friends anyway. And we all did. We just did.
When I worked at the gas station, I did a lot of bits. I was a bit doer, but one of my favorites was we brought in like you had to prepay for your gas. It became like a provincial legislation or whatever, so you couldn't just like pump and then pay for it. You either had to pay at the pump or you had to come inside and say like, "Hey, give me $30 on pump number 4."
I didn't realize it was ever the other way.
Yeah. When would this have been? Like 2008 or so?
Yep.
And
Wow.
It
When I first
pissed
started pumping
people
gas.
the fuck off. They hated it so fucking bad. And so I had like fun trolling them, and they'd be like, "Well, I don't know how much I want. I just want to fill it up. Just let me have a fill up." And I'm like, "Okay, well, how much does it usually cost for you to fill it up, brother?" But my favorite would be cops would come in, and they'd like get upset that the pump wasn't turning on, and they're like, "Oh," they'd like throw their fleet card down and be like, "Okay, well, you have to prepay." And they'd be like, "I'm a fucking cop. Why do I got it?" I'm like,
Yeah.
well, if you're a cop, you should understand the provincial gas pumping like legislation and know that I can't give it to you without a preset amount.
That's so weird that you could just pump your gas and then tell them how much it was.
I remember when it started, I don't know if there was a law here, but it just started like being that way at everyone had the option to be that way, I guess. So they did because people couldn't steal gas and run anymore, or they couldn't do it as much. But I remember, when it first started happening and people would be sitting there trying to pump and they'd have to get on the little microphone thing and be like, "Oh, it's prepay only." And it was like it's like the version now of how they have the person at Walmart. It's always somebody who has like a not life-threatening but alarming mutation about them, like a big port wine stain over their face or something that checks the receipt and everyone gets pissed off at them.
Yeah.
Like, I paid for this. It's not their fault. They're like the sloth of the
Yeah,
store
that
though,
always
from the
sucks.
Goonies.
It bums you out. It bums you out for them because they're put in a shitty position.
That's how it was. Like everybody immediately was like, "You think I'm a fucking thief? You think I'm a fucking? You think I'm gonna run? I have honor."
I had a guy get mad at me like that once because for the air pressure pump, you know, we didn't have like the built-in gauge on the air pressure thing, which is pretty normal, right?
So it just keeps going.
Well, yeah, you just pump it until like you're done, right? Then you have to like test it yourself with your own like tire pressure gauge. Yeah.
When does it stop?
When you
Just
stop?
when the money runs out?
Yeah, well, it wasn't even like one that we paid for. You just like squeeze it, right? But I'm just saying like that the handle didn't have a built-in tire pressure gauge in it, so you'd have to like use your own. Not
Okay,
mean.
So
yeah.
it was free.
Yeah, it was free. And this guy came in and was like, "Hey, could I have a tire pressure gauge?" And like, well, they kept getting stolen when we lent them out, so we only have it for sale now. They're like $4. They're over there. And he lost his fucking mind about, "You calling me a thief, you fucking..." And me being the little 18-year-old shithead that I was, being like, "Well, you can't afford $4 for an air pressure gauge." He got so, and I was like, "Because if you buy it now, this will never happen to you again. You can keep it in your car, and you're set
You
for
should have
fucking
one.
life." Yeah, no, it's a
You need
normal
one.
adult thing to do.
Your tires are going down. You need
I
one.
would call him a pussy for not being able to eye it.
Yeah,
All the ones I see now, they have one built in
Mm-hmm.
where it goes up to 35 and then it stops.
You can't eye 44 psi, stupid ass. What'd you say?
You should be able to kind of tell.
Yeah,
Or,
like if it's
you
like
should be able
a
to
flat,
kick it.
like a flat-ish tire, you should be able to tell when it's like full up. But I mean, different tires have different KPI that they need. Jesus Christ,
Yeah, but you can generally kind of tell
cat just ran up on my desk.
if it's dangerously
They're
low
fighting.
or
Mm-hmm.
somewhat normal. It's good to have one that just plugs into the cigarette lighter. That's what I have.
Oh, that
It
you
tells
can, like,
you
bring with
how
you?
full it is.
Yeah.
I don't smoke.
Yeah. Because then you don't have to park. You don't have to deal with the shit. Yeah,
Hey,
I didn't want
yeah,
a cigarette
but what
lighter.
color is your cigarette lighter? If it's pink,
Oh, fuck. I hope it's not white or pink.
same. Or brown, that means I'm a virgin. I love poop.
Yeah, or a yellow one. I'll have
Brown-
to open up the car and
brown
see
lighter-
what's down in there.
Brown lighter plus blue means I love poop. I love scat, but I'm a virgin.
Oh,
Just love
cool.
poop.
You're just a guy who loves poop.
The scat virgin. Ew. Don't like that.
The scat version.
The BDSM version. That's a lot of people.
Oh yeah, well, that's porno, right? Like you watch porno as a kid, well, as a teenager, and
But not with scat in it.
no, well, not me, but I'm sure there's some freaks out there, right? You pull your
Back
plug
then
long
I called
enough.
it adult porn when I was a kid.
Well, no, this is
Yeah,
like
Now there's no other kind.
I've told this before, like on the stream, but like when I was like 9th or 10th grade, I was talking to some chick on Nexopia and I was getting kind of dirty, and I was like, oh yeah, I love deep throating. As like a guy that had never had his dick sucked, and I thought that would have meant like I love being deep throated, but it just like came off as like incredibly gay. And I'm sure there's people that have like been into that, but for like scat, right?
Oh yeah. Well, I mean,
Deep throating a poop.
at any point, at any time at any point in time, basically, there's some guy out there that's so horny he's doing something that he's going to immediately regret, no matter what it is. And woman, but
It was probably easier to have a poop fetish in the old days when everybody had a chamber pot and there was just shit in the streets.
when there wasn't
Or-
r/poop fetish fails and other shit that people make fun of you for, you know.
R/poop fetish fails.
that's just some that's just some shit that you see posted on, like, I don't go on Reddit. That's just some shit you see posted on like Twitter, and people are like, "Are you fucking kidding me? Look at this!" And it's like, okay, you searched that. That's on you. It's
Now,
on you, buddy.
okay,
I'm trying to see some poop fetish wins.
if you're
The man who got the poop.
if you're a poop fetish guy and you see like a fresh dog shit on the street, does that like turn you on, or is there something about like the shit coming out of a human's ass?
I think you have to know it came out of a woman or a man if you're into men. Or I think if you're into bestiality, maybe if you're a dog person.
So it's not as all poop, it's that it came from like someone.
I wouldn't even care anymore, considering it's not white like it
Yeah.
used to be. I wouldn't even have a nostalgia-gasm, let alone an orgasm.
Or sort of anybody, but it has to be people, I think.
Mhm.
Yeah.
At least that I know of. Like there was that guy that put himself on the other end of the urinal at that pub.
Yeah.
There was the Vice article about it like 20 years ago where he like somehow got into the back room and like got into the wall. He had it draining into his mouth and over his face.
Would you feel violated if that happened to you? If you were the pisser, not the pissy?
Yeah, I probably wouldn't go to that pub again.
I'd want a fucking gift certificate to that pub for some free food or something.
One free
I don't think I would
happy.
go back.
Yeah.
Though I don't know.
Ray Charles actually got in trouble for doing that in his restaurant.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he's very tactile, so he had to get pissed on. He had to hear.
He accidentally hooked it up to the men's room though because he couldn't see the signs.
Yeah, he didn't know.
It was very sad.
It was before they put Braille on the signs.
Stupid.
That joke will always be coming back. Ray Charles tried to.
Ray Charles
tried
was
to
one
beat his-
nasty motherfucker.
Ray Charles tried to beat his wife, but she's out of town.
I hate when old musicians have shit like that.
They all do.
So fucked up.
They all do. Remember Meatloaf? He was a vegetarian.
Are you serious?
No.
How many vegetables was he eating?
You got that damn right.
Must have been eating him non-goddamn stop. There's one thing I'll do for love, but I won't do that. Stop eating.
You know that band Rush?
Yep.
They didn't go anywhere very fast. They took their time.
They went
That's
places.
their dirt. Yeah, I'm just kidding. They're still touring, right? Even though what's his face died?
Thinking about it.
The drummer died, but I think like the other two guys are thinking about making music together.
But they had like an Amazon show or some shit.
Travis Barker should join them.
Geddy Lee did an autobiography.
They should get the drummer from Alkaline Trio.
They're getting out there more. There would be a lot of guys who would want to be that drummer.
Oh, hell yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, that was like any drummer that you knew growing up that was like an actually type guy. They'd want to fucking. They had a picture of Neil's fucking kit up. You know, it was inspirational.
Yeah, any drummer who was into prog.
Gear. Anybody that just wanted to buy gear for their set, their kit.
He had too much shit on his drum set.
Yeah, how much of that shit did he actually use?
He used all of it, but it was mostly during a drum solo where he would like spin around and go.
No, I bet there's a few things on there that he didn't even use anymore because they sounded too it'd be racist to do it. They're too like tribal African sounding. He's like, no, this isn't for me anymore. You know? Yeah.
I miss in the 80s when everyone was into Afrobeat and African style imagery and African drums.
Yeah, Weezer tried to bring it back. Their cover of Africa.
Weezer should actually do that. They should do I think they already did the Black Album. They probably already did the Black Album, but they should do one that's Afrobeat. And it's like Paul Simon Graceland.
Weezer already sounds like an artist from Lagos that I haven't heard of, or maybe an app I haven't heard of from Lagos that's very popular there.
WEEZR.
Weezer.
It's for emphysema.
I wanted to know if what Rush has done after Neil Peart died, and they played 2 shows as a tribute to Taylor Hawkins, the guy from Foo Fighters that passed away. And so they did 3 songs. They had Dave Grohl on drums for 2112, Chad
go.
Smith of the Chili Peppers on Working Man,
Damn it.
and then Danny Carey of Tool played YYZ. But that wasn't their first time performing after Neil Peart died. Do you have any guesses as to who their first show was with on drums after that, or first performance?
Okay, it's not Travis Barker because it's too
It's
cool.
very on brand for us, and it's not someone you would think of as a musician.
Oh.
Machine Gun Kelly.
No, he's an artist. Wait, I can get this.
Think about how he recently bended reality.
With Cartman?
Oh,
Yeah.
Did they play with the they played the South
Cartman.
Park show?
Yeah, Cartman. No, they had Matt
There's Eric-
Stone on drums playing Closer to the Heart.
Wait,
Really?
I was
What?
Yeah.
gonna say Trey Parker and Matt Stone. This is so funny.
Yeah, in August 2022, Liam Lifeson returned to the stage at the South Park 25th anniversary concert in Colorado with South Park co-creator Matt Stone on drums to perform Closer to the Heart alongside the members of Primus, their first performance since the death of Neil Peart.
Wow,
Wow.
Wow.
that is.
Yeah.
They must be huge South Park fans.
Yeah.
I wonder how they think about Thin Cartman. Have they seen the new one?
That crowd right there, a South Park show where it's Rush's first tribute show together after Neil Peart died, and Primus playing.
Woo!
That crowd would. That's like every single guy there leaves like the beer nerd type comments about everything. They have too many opinions right there in that crowd. Way too many opinions. That's a crowd
Yeah.
where a lot of people are thinking "shut the fuck up" about them a lot.
A lot of Magic the Gathering guys.
Oh yeah,
A lot of guys with engineering degrees.
literally anything. You talk about anything, and they will have a fucking paragraph to tell you. And God bless them. Those guys are real life posters. Posters of the heart.
Yeah, I miss those type of guys.
Yeah, they don't want to post on X anymore.
The younger guys, they probably listen to Coheed and Cambria,
Yep.
Animals as leaders, that kind of shit. That would be my guess. Like the equivalent of those guys that are like 26.
I think Coheed was too popular when like we were in high school to be
Yeah,
like
they were too pop punk.
Yeah, exactly. But Animals as leaders makes sense.
Guys that are 26 are they're too cool for that, and they're all listening to King Crimson and fucking nodding their head.
Yep. 21st century schizoid man. Dude,
They only know it
that-
through Kanye.
Yeah, right?
Who?
They're fake fans.
That was me when first. Oh, I know the real song.
Not familiar
I'm
with
so
this
cool.
Kanye guy that tries to be too cool. Haven't heard of literally anything. Who's that?
Kim Kardashian's husband,
Oh,
ex-husband.
Oh,
But I'm not sure who she is.
Amber,
I don't even know who Kim Kardashian is.
Amber Rose's ex-boyfriend.
I don't even know who Amber Rose is. She's just that bald ass bitch.
Yeah, she's from Chapo.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Amber Lee Rose.
Oh, it's too bad she went bald. That sucks.
Yeah, I'm glad she got rid of Kanye, though, before he went all Nazi. That'd be a bad look.
Yeah, he became a chud. He's a white supremacist.
You know how I was introduced to Amber Rose? Is she would like occasionally come and be like the guest co-host on the Adam Carolla podcast back in like 2009 or so.
So weird.
If like Bald Brian couldn't make it.
I bet he fucked her.
You guys know Adam Carolla is a Zionist?
That's fucked up.
I don't
He's
actually know
Italian.
that. I just want to lie about it.
Everyone always thinks that he is he's Jewish because he's in media and he has a nasally voice, but he's actually Italian.
I didn't think that.
Well, that's what he
Who-
says.
Who thought
Based
that?
off his,
Just kidding.
he's got an Italian name.
Yeah.
Jimmy Kimmel, though.
Yeah, but
I think he's
Jewish
Jewish.
people can have non-Jewish last names. Look at Ben Shapiro. He's got a Japanese name. Guy that doesn't know about the name Shapiro.
It's true.
He picked it though. He took it from his sister when they got married.
Oh, that's awesome. He's married to his sister?
Yeah, the
and
one-
they're Japanese?
The one with the big yams.
Yams.
That feels
I
like
haven't heard about her in a while.
It's so gross talking like a trucker like that.
Yeah, people get so fucking gross about that.
Like
About
it's
yams?
also one of the fun. Oh, just talking like disgusting like that. I don't like doing it if it's in the company of people that would actually be offended by it. But like when we're doing it on Fortnite and shit and saying like clunge and scran,
Yeah, the
Scranner.
nasty shit.
Yeah.
plunge scranner, yeah, that shit's funny to me.
But when people use that as an excuse to be legitimately horny,
It's always been funny
Come
to
on.
me to think of like the nastiest. Like that's why Seaside Mark is so funny to me. He smells of fish and shit. It's hilarious. He hangs out by the fucking seaside at low tide, smelling like low tide, eating fish and chips, smelling like fish and shit. It's hilarious.
he's a cool guy.
Yeah, he's awesome. Dude, he's been doing this fucking scam. Because I'm like, how's this guy always go to the saunas? And he says, yeah, if you have a, whatever I forget what the social security number name is in the UK. He's like, you have one of those,
Your Vin.
yeah, you have one of those, you could sign up for a Hilton credit card and you get the benefits. And you can use it for a full 12 days before they'll try to take money out of your account. So I got 5 more days where I can go to the sauna. He just keeps signing up for this shit and like being a club members and shit. He does these streams where he admits to fraud, then he deletes everything, but people save it and just repost it immediately.
That's what I do when I subscribe to The Athletic, the sports journalism website. Is
The Ringer, sorry, buddy.
every year around this time they do like a big promo because like all the American sports aren't fucking really running besides baseball, I guess. And so
Yeah.
you cancel your membership and you can sign up and it's $1.99 a month instead of fucking $14.99 or whatever they're trying to get away with throughout the rest of the year.
Mhm.
Yeah, a lot of places do that.
And
I
if
heard
they-
Sirius XM was doing that. You try to cancel and they're like, oh, will you give us $1? So it's sometimes it's worth testing it out.
Oh yeah, if you got time to like, if your fucking cable package or internet package is out of like the 2-year contract and it costs more, you can just call them up and be like, "Hey, put me on another 2 years, baby. Take $50 off my bill," and they'll do it.
That is true. I need to do that soon with my internet and act like I'm gonna leave. I need to call and fucking. I'm not gonna be mean. I'm gonna cry. I'm gonna give a sob story. I'm gonna say I'm a veteran.
I'm going to say I'm about to die tomorrow.
Yeah.
And that's why I really need to download something fast.
I'm gonna
So if
say
they could speed it up.
I'm gonna put my chin on my chest and say that I'm a veteran and I have a tumor that's the size of the entire left side of my neck, and that's why I sound weird.
I'm downloading a porn video from LimeWire and I really need it to finish before I die tomorrow.
Yep.
I'm in the hospital.
I'm gonna.
When I called, I didn't have to like lie about wanting to cancel. I'll be like, "Hey, I want some cheaper shit, please," and they just gave it to me.
Well, I'm gonna ask for cheaper shit and then tell them if I don't get the deal, then I'm gonna lie and say I'm gonna switch.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
there
tell
you
them
go.
I'm gonna lie, and they'll get a kick out of it and be like, "This guy's funny as fuck. Let's give him a dealio." And then I'm gonna tell him to fist bump the phone.
I think I might get on the phone with my ISP and just be really, really rude right
Yeah.
from the get-go. Not even give my name.
Just don't say that you're gonna fucking plant claymores in their office, or you'll get banned for 3 months from Twitch.
Well, I wouldn't do that.
Is that what Sanchovies did?
Yeah. No, he said somebody should plant claymores at his
okay.
ISP's headquarters.
You should never use those. They're illegal.
That's right. And frankly out of date. I think it'd be quite ghetto to use those in any terroristic activities.
It would be pretty ghetto.
Yeah.
It would be a ghetto terroristic rig for sure.
It'd be like using a a guy that's such a Nazi, he wants to use the potato masher German grenades from World War II that are all like fucking really unstable.
That's something the Toronto police would brag about confiscating.
Yep, the Peel police. Off the streets. Oh, that's so cool. Looking like a fucking Medal of Honor loadout. Yeah, off the streets for the night. Hey, where were these? They were in a pond. Off out of the pond and off the streets. I wish they whoever got fired from that tweeting for that department, they never really rehired that position again, I think.
It's fucked up. Or they just made them do something else. They put them on desk duty. Double desk duty.
They might work for a bigger department now that posts it.
You know what I saw today? You know how they had that thing going around, which is like, screw iconic. What's the tweet that had you most yelled at or whatever by the most amount of people? And it was the guy that got fired for retweeting the Benihana tweet.
Oh, Isaiah Breen.
Yeah.
Yeah, he used to work for Keith Ellison.
Yeah.
Maybe he still does. Or no, he works for Ilhan Omar.
Yeah, something like that. That was pretty good. I was like, hey, that's my friend in the screenshot.
Yeah, I know him.
I tried to threaten Keith Ellison to give him his job back, but that didn't work either.
Damn.
Hey, can't
Right
threaten.
now.
Tell him I'm beat his ass.
I'll march my ass down there.
I'm gonna march my ass down there and beat your ass, Keith.
You're gonna beat your black ass.
Mano y mano. I didn't say
He
black
got
ass.
Me Too'd or something.
Oh, okay.
What's Keith Ellison up to these days?
He got like semi-Me Too, where it was basically like a breakup.
He's a bad boss. He fired people for retweeting on the wrong account.
Yeah. It says here he is, what is he currently doing? Looks like he is attorney
I think
general.
he's still the attorney. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's still chilling. I think he's a pretty good guy overall too, if I remember correctly.
Let's see.
One of the we have plenty of Minnesota listeners that can let us know in the comments how Keith Ellison is faring these days.
Yeah, I fucking hate that state. Nothing good ever comes from there.
Let him know also. I'll fucking I'll fight him if you know him. Let him know.
Was Minnesota the state that like accidentally legalized marijuana gummies? You guys remember that from a few years ago? Like they like tried rushing some bill through and somehow
Was
medical.
that them? That sounds about right.
I know it was up
I feel
north.
like it was even more of a conservative
Like
state that
Wisconsin.
did it.
Yeah,
Maybe.
that was the thing too. It's just gummies too. It's so stupid.
It was it was Minnesota. You're right.
Man knows his weed, folks.
Yep, I don't remember much, but I do remember things about weed.
That must have been a good year. If you were there that year in Minnesota, if you remember that year in Minnesota, you weren't there.
Yep, you had to be
You
there.
were in another state.
You had to be there. You probably would have if it looked like you were there, but you weren't there. You might have been in either Wisconsin or Iowa.
Yeah, you would have to tell by the geography.
Yep. Other telling features. If you check out the
Yeah,
polls
and the
near
license
you,
plates too.
check out the polls near, and they have a little yellow sticker about midway up. You're probably in Wisconsin. Giving people directions. You can go about 3 clicks that way. That'd be a good bit. Giving people directions in clicks, like a pirate.
Is that nautical?
3 clicks to the north.
Giving people just cardinal directions, that would be pretty funny. Just go south.
Yeah.
Due south. And the road splits up in a bunch of different ways.
Go south till the sun goes over the horizon, then take rest. They'd be like, what?
Right off into the sunset. That's one direction.
Somebody asking you where something is, you tell them go southwest. Give them exact mileage, southwest 8.4 miles. How to get there? I don't know.
How to get there? Southwest. Oh, the airline? No, just southwest.
I saw your cat walk in the background, and Michael has like the blurry Discord background. And I thought, hey, why is there a black bear walking behind Michael outside? Even though I know you're fucking in Detroit, like not on the ground floor of your apartment.
No, there's a guy on his hands and knees. Hey, you never know with bears. You never know.
It's quite overgrown around here. Well, my friends, if you ask AAP, he's got to carry his pistol on him while he's walking back to the river because they got all the bears and mountain lions. I'm like, dog, you do not have any pumas near you up in Gladwin, Michigan, you dumb fucker. Maybe once in the last fucking 100 years one came that far south. But he's like, yeah, we got a lot of mountain lions around here, my friends. Shut up.
Yeah, I don't think they really attack people in the woods. Only if you're right there, because for a mountain lion to get that far east, and they occasionally do get that far east, they have to be really careful, I would assume. They can't just be walking through the street, because they would have just gotten shot.
We have been in the Upper Peninsula. Like, they're up in the hill country up there and shit. That's, like, wolves have been, too, for a long time, and they're just barely coming back to the Lower Peninsula.
Yeah, both of those were supposed to be there.
Yeah, and they were a long time
Wolves
ago.
and mountain lions, and we got rid of them because they were killing all our sheep.
Wolverines are finally back, too.
But now we have way better fences and stuff and cameras, so we can bring the wolves back.
That's some shit that Ohio State fans would always know. Y'all haven't even had Wolverines in your state for 150 years. And they're back now, though, so the Buckeyes can suck it.
We talked about this on the pod before. What's the most rare animal you've seen in the wild?
A mink.
A mink, interesting.
I saw one of those in Canada when I was out fishing. It was cool.
Chat, it was actually in Davisburg, Michigan, not that far north or anything. It's in Oakland County, which is like 45 minutes north of Detroit, where I grew up.
Mm-hmm.
And there was this little, there's a mill pond with a little river that runs under the road. Then there's this wheel. And I was down there one time. I walked down there and had like a little lunch with me and was eating it after I fished. This is when I was like 12. And a mink, we see them out there all the time, but it ran up from where the creek, like the running water was, while I was just chilling there. I was just kind of like, what the fuck are you doing? And ran up to me and like stood up and put his little hands on my leg and just looked at me. And then jumped down and ran off. It was crazy.
That could have been your friend for life.
Yeah.
To give him a nut or something.
People trapped him a lot around there.
Yeah.
Yeah, they use them for fur.
Sell for a lot.
Who's still wearing fur? Come on.
Yeah, get some buy some other cool guy rich shit. I gotta think what the most rare animal is though that I've seen.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe like a whale on a whale watch.
Oh yeah,
on a field
trip.
Well, that's cool.
But I didn't really see it.
I've seen a beluga like that when we went family trip to Alaska when I was a kid. I think
it might as well be the aquarium.
Yeah. Well, it's on the side of the highway. It sort of
counts.
Yeah, it counts.
It would be cooler if it was like a chance encounter, like you're out on a fishing boat.
When I was in New Zealand, we were, or no, it was Australia. The Blue Mountains in New South Wales. Walking along, had a tour guide, and we fucking came upon, that bird from the David Attenborough thing that can like mimic like chainsaw noises and all these human sounds and shit.
Yeah.
We saw one of those, and the tour guide said it's like incredibly rare to see that, and we were really lucky.
Oh, that's awesome. He probably says that to everybody.
Yeah, it could have been lied to. And I mean, I've seen like grizzly bears and shit in the wild too.
The bird mimicking him saying that. Oh, this is an incredibly rare bird. It's an incredibly rare bird. We never get to see this.
Technically, the Kirtland warbler is probably the rarest because they're only in one.
Who's he?
They're in half of a county in Michigan, in the lower peninsula.
He used to host on MTV.
And nowhere else in the world. Little yellow bird. I've seen those in the wild. In the county where they live. But also, back when I was like 13, 14, and I got into Pokemon, but then realized I live across the street from like 120
real Pokemon
acres.
Pigeons and sparrows.
No, we had 120 acres of state land across the street of just trails. And I was like, I have real life Pokemon. So I made like a Pokédex of like animals in my area and bugs too. And I saw all of them. And one of the last ones that took me to see was this guy. Even though they're not that rare, you see them a lot, but it took me forever to find one.
Well, that's cool.
Sindella sexputata, 6-spotted tiger beetle.
Wow, that's a really hot name.
Yeah, I'm jacking off right now.
That's shiny.
Yeah.
Ooh, it's shiny.
Shiny. That's like a shiny Pokemon. That's exactly how it felt too when you would get to see something and check it off the list. That's why I like bird watching. Birding is so cool. I love it.
I just wish they weren't so high up.
There was that eagle that's from eastern Russia that was all the way over in like the Cape Cod area a couple of years ago. People were leaving their work to go drive over and try to get a picture of it. Like really passionate birders Funny. Very cool though.
I don't like the paparazzi.
That motherfucker was so far away from his area.
I don't like when they bother a famous bird.
Yeah, they killed Princess Diana.
That's true.
Birds?
Well, she was a famous bird that died.
It's true,
Get
yeah.
it? The UK word.
Yep.
She was one famous bird, and now she's gone.
She was lush, and I mean lush. Oh, get one down in ya, and I mean down in ya.
It seems to me you lived your life like a bird into a window,
Damn. Like a candle in the flame.
never knowing what you were going to fly into.
One of my aunts that always sing lyrics wrong. Would sing like a candle to the flame. Like a candle to the flame instead of in the wind.
Like a candle to, like, what? Like, I guess the most charitable reading would be you take the candle and hold it over a fire that you already have and use that to light the but that doesn't really.
She was the same one that would be in her car listening to When I Come Around by Green Day. The song is called When I Come Around. The song, I was like 8 or 9 years old sitting there thinking the song is called When I Come Around. But she'd go, when I come back.
That's crazy.
And I was in the backseat being like, that's not it.
Like,
That's not the words.
after the first chorus, you would think that you would realize maybe she just
Bro.
couldn't hear herself.
Yeah, maybe so. And, you know, it's one of those old Plymouth Neons, really shitty sound systems, like the lowest, cheapest stock version of anything you could put into a car at the time. It's one of those cars that was like $8,000 brand new, you know? Oh man, those are the days. Those were the days. Also, that was the car where once they had, they went from the first like purchase up package, like she got the better trim package on her next one, and it had automatic windows. But if you guys remember back in the 90s when the first automatic windows started coming around, like to widely spreaded cars and not just the luxury vehicles, they were fast as fuck. They'd go, the motors were too fast. And I got my fingers crushed in the neon windows one day. Like,
Yeah.
like SpongeBob fucking broken hand style art looking. It was all like the
Damn.
skin peeling off them with like, when you just get sort of like degloved where it's not even bleeding, it's just nasty and like open and raw.
Yeah, I hate getting degloved.
Yeah. And I got right after that I got to get whatever I wanted from Burger King.
Hell yeah.
She
I would want a new glove.
Yeah, she crushed my hand in the window, so I had to eat Burger King with one hand with it all wrapped up.
Can I get one of the latex gloves that you guys use? Because I got degloved.
Wild Wild West was in the theaters because I got the rodeo burger and the toys and onion rings with my rodeo burger.
Not bad.
When I was like in grade 5 or something, we got our first car that didn't have the manual windows. And I remember being like so excited at school to like have my mom drive me home so I could play with the windows. Just like when you get like a new video game and you can't wait to go home, I'm like, oh fuck, I can't wait to fuck with these windows.
Yeah, I
2
know what you mean though.
hours.
Do you know what my version of that was?
Mm.
When my dad had a car that he wasn't using anymore. I mean, it was just like he drove it into the ground like 240,000 miles on some old Mercury Sable.
Mm-hmm.
And we started using like the shell of the car that was just sitting on these flat tires to dick around in and play like spaceship in basically,
Oh,
or
hell
whatever the
yeah.
fuck we wanted because we were like 8 or 9. And I remember being at like church or something and just being like, can't wait to go home and play in the car. And like, it was like
What a big-
summer, and the second you close the door, it's fucking like literally killing yourself in there.
Yeah.
Fucking 110 degrees, and we're sitting in there like astronauts. Like, this is what it would really be like, though.
So hot
That's
in
true.
space.
Yeah, because we'd watch Apollo 13 and shit, and they lost power and got sweaty as shit. And we'd be in there like fake floating around it, sweating, looking like we're dying because we're just kids in a hot car.
A certain time of year, though. Like in October, November.
Oh yeah, perfect rocket ship time.
Yeah, that's perfect for playing in your rocket ship that's actually a waste call.
Oh, I was too busy though around then raking up all the leaves in our yard and our neighbor's yard so we make one giant pile and piss our dad off. He's like, put them in a bag. We're like, we're not done jumping in them yet. Yes, you are. No.
You should have got you a leaf blower that sucks them in.
Oh, don't even get me started on those pieces of shit. The leaf blowers that suck them in in like a giant yard, you're just asking to be doing that all day. It
Yeah,
only fills up that
you have
little
to get a
tiny
good one.
bag.
You just used a grass catcher on the lawnmower.
No, at that point, like, it got to a point where I started being like weighing the options for like I should just save my lawn mowing money during the summer so I can save and hire leaf guys for us in the fall. I'm so sick of this shit. And I was like 12.
Yeah.
I hated that shit. Well, it didn't help. We lived on like a steep hill too, and our entire yard was the hill, and our driveway was gravel. Have you ever shoveled a gravel driveway with like stones in it, where you're pushing along and you got this nice rhythm? Then you hit a stone and your fucking shovel goes right in your gut, your chest, and you're just getting enraged. Ooh, love that shit. Those days in January. I mean, I'm not even complaining about snow now, but back way before the world was even warmer, we had real winters here. Now, Aaron only has winters like that.
Even then, like it's way nicer here than it was like 10 years ago.
Or like 20 years ago.
Oh yeah, I wonder how much of that is like being a kid and like the snow seems higher, but I'm pretty sure it was worse.
Well, here's the thing about the leaves too. For a couple of years, we convinced my parents that it was better for the lawn to leave the leaves there for the winter.
Yeah, it's gonna fucking like fertilize
Football
them.
loving beer dads like, you know what? That sounds smart as fucking shit to me.
As long as you grind them up and they're not just wet.
We're gonna give that a go, and I'm gonna watch the Lions lose to the Vikings in week 2.
Yeah, I don't know. When I was our yard was so big that it would have been a fool's errand to try and fucking rake them all up.
Yeah, you gotta burn. Plus, you gotta burn your property line every year.
Yeah,
If it's like a forest type lawn, then it's okay.
That one guy that we watched on YouTube, the requests, those burning.
Oh
yards.
yeah. The guy from fucking Manitoba or whatever.
Zoning.
We had a ride-on mower and would just like mow up all the fucking leaves so they were nice and small.
Yeah, that
There'd be like
works.
some cursory raking. And speaking of like
that's-
stupid things you got excited for as a kid, one of mine was lawnmower, the ride-on mower. You suck up the blade so it doesn't cut the grass, and then you're going fucking rabbit mode in a track around the fucking yard. Ooh.
Putting into rabbit mode and being like, holy goddamn.
Well, that's like having a real race cow as a kid.
Oh yeah.
But
It's the
even
closest
still,
thing.
I'd already been on a go-kart and shit because we lived in like redneck Michigan for so long.
Lucky.
Where you would just have neighbors that would all of a sudden have a go-kart where it was really just the shell of a piece of shit one that they fixed and is really dangerous. But hey, before that, we would do this thing where we took a 30-foot rope and tied it to the front of a big wheel. And then the biggest kid would ride a bike pulling that, and we'd fucking whip the bike and drift them across like intersections, just like
On the street?
Jackass. But that was before Jackass. Oh yeah, I mean we lived
That's
in, like,
crazy.
We had all side streets. It was pretty low traffic. Like one of them was a dead end, so there wasn't people coming that way much. Perfect for hockey and shit.
You could get whipped all around.
We never had close calls with cars. We would just roll the fucking big wheel and hurt kids, not on purpose. Like we'd hurt each other too.
It was easier to play in the street back then.
True. Actually,
Yeah,
it's probably
before
really easy
woke.
now because all the kids are inside on tablet.
You can't even fuck around in the street with your big wheels anymore because of immigrants. It's immigrants and women.
I go 60 through these subdivisions and no one even tells me to stop anymore. No one even throws shit from their yard and screams at me.
Well, the thing for me is a lot of people work from home now. So it's not really a residential street if a bunch of people are working from home,
It's
you know?
it's a business district.
What if all these people are working from home? So, like, why do I have to go the speed limit?
Can you imagine arguing with a cop? You're going like 45 and a 25 through like a residential
Doing it
area.
at 3 a.m. just drag racing at 3 a.m. Like, well, a lot of them work from home, so.
This is what I call a residential area. You know, all 3 of them work from home over there.
Yeah, I've been looking in their windows. I've been casing joints,
I'm
but
there.
not going in.
Nothing wrong with casing. No harm in that.
Yeah, I love
Doing
just casing.
Doing the Seaside Mark thing where you say no harm in that, even if it's something that's harmful.
Yeah, drinking 18 beers a day, no harm in that.
You can look in your windows neighbors to get a good idea what's going on with them. No harm in that.
They might leave them open.
Yeah.
They might forget to put the curtains down. Or they might forget to shut the gate to their yard.
Yep.
No harm in that.
Open enough to see, open enough for me.
It's their fault for making their bushes not prickly enough to keep me out of.
Hey, enough about their bushes.
No, they're shaved.
Let's
I
go.
learned that when I was
Nice.
casing. I was casing the bathroom.
We still have to watch an episode of that show sometime on stream. It Takes a Thief. The show is so funny.
When was that made?
Mid 2000s. It was on Discovery Channel or some shit.
What's
We're
the
2X.
premise?
There were two ex-cat burglars, two ex-felons that were cat burglars, and they test people's home defenses, like people who buy like
Oh, I remember that. Yeah.
Oh, that
badass
sounds
security
sick.
systems and shit, and they try to break in. But they made it really dramatic because they have the homeowner like watching him, like the thief will go into the kids' room and like knock some books off the shelf, but not like even violently, just be like, flip a toy over, and they'd be like, they start crying like that's my kid's room. And the host is like, is that your kid's room? That's my kid's room. Is that your kid's room? Yes.
Getting the kid in trouble? That would be fun to do if you're a cat burglar. You break into someone's house and then you make their kid's room all messy.
You find their stash of weed.
Yeah, plant weed in like their 14-year-old's bedroom. Some people you don't even know.
Oh,
Throw all the Legos all over the floor in the hallway.
it's just the only way they can make this show dramatic where these guys that they know are breaking in, because otherwise they're going to sit there and go, oh, wow, you got in there pretty quick. They'd be like, he got in there and went straight for the kids' room. That makes me so uncomfortable. Because they're showing like, you had this $5,000 system and I still got in 10 minutes, whatever. Undetected.
Yeah. They couldn't do anything actually cool.
No, and like, what are they going to... None of the security systems would actually trip because like the cops weren't actually called or anything. It'd be funny if they did, swatting themselves. No,
Yeah,
I got a show.
That would be funny. That
Yeah.
would make the show funny if you had the cops dealing with the producers outside.
Dude, that'd be content.
The dialogue between the cops and the producers about what they're doing. Like,
Oh my
yes, it
God.
is a break-in, and yes, these are felons. They're breaking into these people's house, but we're filming it for a TV show. But it called you guys, and yes, they are doing it, but you have to leave.
There were some really cool shows like that back then. But that one, I always just remembered because, like, what do you even get? Yep, we couldn't get in. Good job. You win.
Yeah, I wonder how much money
Do
it
the
is.
homeowners like argue about like how it's bullshit and they cheated?
Not that I remember.
They can't really say
Because
that.
it kind of reminds me of Doomsday Preppers. Have you seen that show where they like go through different people's like doomsday prep setups, and then a team of experts rates them on like a scale of 100 as to how good they'd survive, and then they have to like sit there as they're being judged, and they read off like it's this for security and this for like food or whatever, and they always have to argue like, oh, that's fucking bullshit. The funniest one was when someone had like a hydroponics setup. No, sorry, aquaponics, where you have like a bunch of like vegetation that feeds tilapia, and it's like its own self-sustaining ecosystem where you'd have like unlimited food forever, blah blah blah. And they had like a really shitty score, like the lowest I've ever seen, just because they like didn't own guns. And the experts were like, "Yeah, well, you can have all the fish you want, but if you can't protect yourself, then everyone's gonna come and steal your fucking fish."
So awesome.
Well, you make a deal with the local strongman.
Yeah,
That's what you do. If you have all the supplies, you use diplomacy.
yeah, you pay for security.
I'll let your gang requisition my supplies.
Look at the It Takes a Thief, guys. This looks like a skit.
Come on. The one guy looks like Bo Horvat.
It's so cool.
And
I'm glad they made him white.
Yeah.
oh, we
Me
haven't even
too,
talked
man.
about the guy who wrote the book about being black, and he's a white guy.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's a real good
cool.
way to describe that story from today.
Someone should quote tweet that. Yeah, I don't even.
It's true. I'm one of those guys that doesn't quote tweet those stories. I just retweet them because it's way funnier to do. It's this guy named Sam Forster, and he's a guy from Montreal who writes for the National Post and the Spectator.
All you need to know.
He revealed today that last summer he disguised himself as a black man and traveled throughout the United States to document how racism persists in American society. Writing Seven Shoulders was one of the hardest things I've ever done as a journalist. It's out on May 30th.
Now, wasn't that like a TV show where they like took a white family and a black family and switched them around?
It
Yeah.
was called
Yeah,
Black,
Black,
White.
White.
It was Ice Cube's show.
I mean, I guess it's smart to get publicity through this.
Black White also won like an Emmy for makeup.
compared to any other boring conservative book? Because there is a bunch of press, and you do have a bunch of free exposure through people joking about it. And people do want to hear in the book what he actually did. Did he put on blackface? What did he talk like?
Or did he do a mask?
People who are going to completely make fun of him and the book are still going to buy it and read it for their podcast as well. I'm not, but people will.
It's like self-humiliation.
Yeah.
For money.
Is it funnier if he did blackface or if he got one of those like realistic Devon masks for a black guy and wore the mask around?
Whatever takes more time is funnier to me.
Whatever one he gets caught doing.
Because they both will
And
look
which is more
unrealistic.
racist, or is it the same amount of racism?
No, I think mask is still less racist than painting your skin.
Who's that going to fool, though?
All I can think of is Dennis Rodman drive-through prank.
Like, the only people you could fool with that are going to be, like, security guards, maybe?
People from afar, yeah.
Yeah, or just people, like, on the street. Like, it's like, black guy, hello. And they probably think it looks weird, but they just keep walking because it's none of their business. But if you went up to a group of black guys and you were like, yo, they would immediately notice that you had blackface or you were wearing a mask or whatever it was.
If you were wearing a mask, your lips were moving, you're like, yo, what's up, homie?
Yeah, they would be like, what?
Or is he like going into the fucking the bank and trying to like get a mortgage or whatever as a fake black guy? Or I guess it's himself, but he's black because they don't.
We're gonna have to watch the book and find out.
That's right.
Or let somebody find out for us. He's really stupid for not posting pictures of him in this.
Or he's smart. That was the thing I was interested about when I clicked over to his page today. Is he hadn't like responded to anything besides saying like when the paperback's coming out.
Yeah, so that means the tweet that has his book announcement, everybody's replying to it and boosting the engagement.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Also, listeners, don't get mad at us if this thing is completely jammed down your throat by the time you hear this podcast, because for us it just came out today.
Kind of already. Hopefully it's died down.
Yeah, I mean that's Alex's joke.
It was
about,
3 hours ago. But
somebody should quote retweet it, but I'm saying it is.
I've already seen it. Yeah,
it is like the thing of the day and the thing of the week. So, you've probably have heard a lot about it and probably know more about it than us right now. So just think of how funny it is.
It's designed to be the thing of the day.
Think about how funny it is of how much we don't know. These are the chips, man. The outlaw.
These
quote.
are their chips.
These are their chips, man.
Let the chips fall where they may.
Zah,
Dr. von Schmidt.
Jean Schmidt. Germany. Germany is so funny. Germany.
Yeah, so there's an American guy who's writing a book about pretending to be German, and he went around saying,
Dr. Jean Schmidt,
using a perfect German accent and saying he was German, and people still served him food. People still served him food all over the country.
Didn't matter if he was German,
amazing.
Irish, Stewie.
Yeah, if he was from New York,
Rhode Island,
they still served him food.
Yeah, got that Rhode Island accent.
Like doing voices in the drive-through speaker, that's the funniest way to do it, because all they can hear really is like, and like maybe they can hear out like McDonald.
I know, that's why fucking like, hey, Stone Cold ET.
Yeah, also doing it through a mask.
Stone Cold ET's the worst one. Like,
yeah, the Dennis Rodman one, the guy couldn't even hear. Like it was a black.
Even if the person thinks they heard you say Stone Cold ET, they're like, well, that doesn't make sense anyway.
It's so amazing that guy brought it back like 8 years later. The worst bit of all time. Where if people don't know, just Google Stone Cold ET. He does a Stone Cold voice, and he's wearing an ET mask, and he thinks it's the funniest thing in the world. And there's a new video of him. He's at a minor league baseball game, and they take him out on the field somehow. And there's one where he interrupts a comedy performance at an open mic. And he did it at the drive-thru like 100 times.
I think I said it on a stream, but we're gonna see a screenshot of him, a Stone Cold ET on a plane with the little fucking the IDF dog tag, and he's gonna have Israel tagged in it because he's gonna be one of the Ollie Londons and Eve Bartlows that get hired. Israel's got Stone Cold ET on their side now. Hey, what's up, Tel Aviv? I'm here. Stone Cold ET.
Stone Cold ET.
They gotta dig deep. They should get Shane Dawson. What's he up to? They should get him and his husband to go over there.
Shane Dawson's probably already in the IDF. We just haven't heard.
Yeah, he might be over there. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't follow him.
Nico Cotto Avocado's in the IDF as well. It's crazy.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's so nice of them to let him in. Probably not fun for the camp cook.
They don't have any choice. Man, I was talking about it this week, but the fucking so many people that are like Israel is our most important ally types, military, the miltard conservatives. A lot of them are really gonna have to have a reckoning with the new congressional bill that's trying to get veterans benefits for Americans fighting in the IDF. 23,000 people right now, by the way.
Good lord.
Man.
But I'm thinking of like any veteran I know hearing that the IDF's going to get the same benefits as them, but like also sooner. Now, wait a minute. Now, what the fuck is this?
It's at the point where people in the mainstream are sort of turning on it.
Yeah, dude.
It's been going on so long and it's just so horrific that even diehard Biden people, like, I think Angry Black Lady.
Oh, but dude, also the ICJ pointing out, or somebody pointing out to people that the ICJ can basically lay charges on influencers now too. And this week that Hamza Hawidi, and that's the Palestinian guy that always goes on Fox News. He says like, I'm a Palestinian Muslim, but here's why what Israel's doing is okay. He's one of those types. And then there's the Drew Pavlou guy that hates Felix and Hassan, all those guys. That he's the dude that got bullied by Cypriots to take the Cyprus flag out of his name, so they're gonna kill him.
Yeah, he loves getting yelled at.
Yeah, he's just some loser from Queensland. He's like the Ian Miles Chong, but even more annoying. But anyway, all of them had fucking tweets this week being like, I think my hate for Hamas has really blinded me to the truth of what's been happening to the Palestinian people. Like, they're trying to backstab all their shit now.
Yeah, because they spent months and months making these arguments about how the IDF is the most humane army in the world and they would never kill civilians indiscriminately.
They're fucking Fortnite emoting in the name of fucking genocide over personal vendettas. It's fucking cringe. I hate those people so much. Brianna Wu too.
Yeah. It's pretty horrific. Yeah, they make it really hard to defend unless you're either super Christian and you want the Amalek to be destroyed so they can build the third temple and end the world, or you're super Zionist.
Yeah, if you're evil.
Christian Zionists are some of the biggest fucking weirdos on earth. Insane. And guess what? Lots of them work in the government right now.
Yeah.
And it's awesome.
The time is over for that shit. It was kind of useful for colonizing the United States. It was useful for the Mormons.
Useful for military recruitment.
But actually putting them back there, you're not supposed to do that. It's supposed to be through metaphor and stuff. Like we're the new Israelites, making the new Jerusalem.
Speaking of the Bible, real quick, Melanie Mack talking about tornado sirens yesterday, and AR-15 with the fucking most rizzed out reply of the week saying, "Love tornadoes, all the thrill and carnage they bring." And then replied right away and said, "But also praying for your safety and your families and everyone that's in tornadoes." Pretty awesome.
Awesome, dude.
He has 7 replies to that, basically being like, "What the fuck are you talking about?"
He was probably driving.
I know.
Realized he said the wrong thing.
Love the thrill and carnage they bring. It's a really weird thing to say for somebody that lives in a place that will get their EF4 soon. Right down his street.
He's a nasty, hateful toad who hates everyone around him.
Yep. Luckily, his life is
good.
Great.
But the thing is, if there was a tornado and it blew his dad's house down and they had to go to a new place, do you think they would take him there? Probably not.
They'd be like, we don't got any room. You gotta stay at the pizza place.
Yeah, they'd be like, sorry, man. Yeah, I don't know.
You gotta stay at work and sleep with where the menus sit.
Yeah, you can sleep in your car, so
You gotta put 2 chairs together and lay across them.
it's not like he's
Ass
protected.
sagging down. They're sliding apart.
It's not
all
like he's
night.
protected against that. Like if that hits him, or if it hit his car or something.
2 chairs scooted in the corner next to the fucking outlet so he could sit there on his phone.
It would be one thing if you were a doomsday prepper, sitting down in your bunker, Like, oh, I love it. I love seeing all these unprepared people getting fucked up, but that could just hit him first.
I would love to give someone like him or Moktak a doomsday seller. Moktak eating all of his prep food like 3 days. Hey man, it's not the end of the world, so quit eating like it.
Yeah, he's a guy who wouldn't want a doomsday seller because he wants to go and meet God. He posts those horrible prayers about wanting to come and see God as fast as possible.
That is AR-15 prepping. It's just him buying a bunch of ammo that he doesn't need. And then Moktak prepping. He's just digging a Moktak-sized hole.
Like, take me first. Take me first.
Lord, I'm ready to meet you whenever you're ready for me. Lord, if heaven needs a big dumb motherfucker, I am ready to meet you. We all should be like that, though.
Such a strange way to perceive depression. And also the
You
Bible.
should get on SSRIs, try therapy.
Eh.
Yeet! Yeet!
Yeet.
Yeet!
Yeet.
At least Vlogs isn't reading the Bible.
Nope. He's simply a reactor now. He's a YouTube reactor.
Yeah, reacting to the lowest common denominator.
There could be a Vlogs. Stay tuned, though. There could be a Vlogs Bible Boy arc coming. Because some of the only attention he gets right now is from some sort of blah, blah, blah life church near him. So stay tuned for that. The Vlogs Jesus arc could be coming.
It's possible.
Yep. I just want to hear him say Ephesians.
One of those young churches.
Young
could pull
Church
him
is
in.
going to be his rapper name.
Young Church.
Yep.
If they could somehow loop him in and like trick him into thinking that going to church is going to make him famous, or it's going to make him a famous
So
TikToker.
true. Oh my God! Somebody should tell
Like,
me.
oh, maybe I can film like the bands that they have
No,
here.
I already know. I already know what it's going to be. He's going to find out you can become a pastor by mail order online and start calling himself a pastor and have his hair combed and shit. That's what's going to happen. And you know what's going to happen? I'm going to tell him to do that. Yo, Vlogs, it's me.
The
Some
youngest
make some
pastor.
money.
Some guy named Devil on My Shoulder at gmail.com emailed me. Yeet.
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 Thanks
All
for
right.
listening.
Subscribe to the Patreon.
Live
Yeah,
show.
Live
Tickets